I've got some awesome news for you, fellas. So we've just released our own game called Garage 54, which precisely corresponds with our own story. You can go ahead and log on and start with a modest garage, begin producing some small-scale vids, work on a few humble cars, and gradually build your way up from there. Grow just like we did back in the day. Hire a camera crew and some mechanics, move into a new garage, buy yourself some new equipment, edit some videos, grow a huge fan base. Get around to doing a few serious project cars, which you can then proceed to enter into races with other players. So yeah, basically the game is a reflection of our own journey. You can download the game for both iOS and Android devices. You'll find all the links in the video description. So go ahead and have a look, download the game, install it onto your phone, and have a ball. Hey there, fellas. Alright. So you surely remember this one. I've got some wood. It's just that lately we've been, well, ever since we got our hands on this chunk of wood, we've been using it to make stuff. Like a crankshaft, some conrods. Anyway, so we've been moving this thing around in our shed, and at some point a decision was born to make a set of wooden wheels. Make of it what you will, but this remaining piece should be enough to make us some wheels. And I don't mean just cut out some round wooden bits, drill a few holes, mount them up, and away we go. I reckon we can also get some sort of unique pattern happening. Once we're done, we throw them on, drive around and see what's up. I'm expecting these to look somewhat similar to wagon wheels. Alright, let's make them, install them, and go for a ride. Let's do this. Making a set of wagon wheels for a car. Translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. Okay, fellas, check this out. We've made ourselves a really nice set of wheels. Sure, we used a milling machine, when wooden wheels tend to be made piece by piece, with the spokes being a sort of separate thing. Anyway, here's what we're looking at, and they are pretty nice. We thought we'd wrap them with a strap of metal, since all of those coaches, carriages, and wagons all tend to use something similar anyway, to minimize wear, though in our case they're here for a bit more support. I guess you can say that they serve both the purpose of holding them together and so if the edge were to come into contact with some sharp pebbles, these will keep them from cracking. I mean, a stone can easily wedge itself in there and tear the wheel apart. This way we'll at least somewhat mitigate the risk. Look at these wheels. I don't think we should even paint them. We should just leave them looking wooden. Okay then, the only thing we have to do now is to install them and go for a drive. Let's do this. Alright, we've got them mounted. Check out the look we've got with these wheels. It's definitely just like on a carriage, or a wagon, whatever. What matters is they're in place, the car rolls, it's all good. Now we just need to do some testing. That's something we most definitely have to do. Let's try this out. I've released the handbrake, it's all good. This is pretty harsh. But harsh or not, we need to get onto the testing. I can feel every tiny pebble, every crack in the road. Like literally everything. But then again, I mean, if you remember what it's like to ride around in a carriage, it's not the most pleasant sensation in the world either. In our case, the springs don't really seem to be softening the ride. Seriously though, this is incredibly rough. This isn't necessarily soft soil, but in any case, mud is mud, you know? This isn't even remotely as brutal. Okay, so I just did some driving, and everything seems to be okay. I am a bit worried about going over those seams in the road surface. When you go over some kind of soil, these wheels just dig right in, with it being so soft. So no vibrations, no nothing. I feel like we should try doing a burnout. Yeah, we should do that. Oh, misplaced my feet. Alright, let's do this. I just saw a tiny bit of smoke and that's it. Oh, that's smoke from the exhaust pipe. Keep driving. Was that just both wheels spinning? Why is the rear end stepping out? What do you know? It even spins both wheels. Isn't that nice? What sort of magical differential is this? Alright, fellas. So in the end, this worked out beautifully. If we look at these metal strips that we attached to the wheels, you can see where we were going over some sharp rocks and stuff. They've really dug themselves into that metal. Now imagine if this weren't there. The wood, with it being so soft, would have been massaged by those stones, and I can easily see the wheels splitting in half at some point. It's the same story in the rear, though the back end doesn't weigh as much. And when I was doing that burnout, the engine had absolutely zero trouble getting this one to spin up. Turns out it has plenty of horsepower. Such a narrow wheel barely gives you any grip. As for that other one, well, it was planted on a wet surface. So in the end, both wheels were spinning simultaneously, without the engine even breaking a sweat. What's amazing is that this wooden wheel actually held up. This isn't what you'd call an old-fashioned design by any means. Naturally, it was made not in the same way our ancestors used to do it back in the olden days. When I was a youngster, I actually rode around in carriages, so there's that. I saw those wheels that were pieced together, but I mean, at that tender of an age, nobody was really paying attention to those sorts of details, right? In our case, we took a whole piece of wood, put it onto a milling machine, and cut out a wheel which works on a car, without even braking. I'd say we're looking at a 107% success rate here. It held up, everything is looking good. You know what? With the car looking all cool and transparent like this, we could make it into a carriage, hitch it to a pony and go for a ride around town, after removing the engine, of course. 3 horses would be a bit much, I guess, but at least 1, 2, whatever, let's just make it 3 for good measure. And we have some fun. But for now, that's all I have for you fellas. Watch us, subscribe, send in those comments and suggestions, give us a big thumbs up. Alright, catch you later.